Hi everyone, welcome to Miss Adams Teaches English Language. This video is going to take you through the Edexcel English Language Paper 2, but this is version 2.0. This video is part of a series where I'm breaking down all of the questions, and in this one we're going to be looking at the comparison questions, so that's question 5 and question 6. It's all based on the June 2023 exam, which is linked in the description. So do make sure that you've read through both extracts first, so you know what I'm talking about here. There are some more videos available for you on the second, on section B, which is where you're doing the imaginative writing, and keep your eyes peeled for a full walk and talk that will hopefully be coming out next week. But for now, let's get started.
So question 5 is actually a really nice question. It's only doing AO1, so information retrieval. But a lot of students overcomplicate it and therefore lose marks. So we're dealing with both texts. So text 1 and 2 both talk about football games. The games are different, but they share similarities. Write a summary giving 3 separate ways the football games are similar. So it's nice and specific. You know you only need 3. And then support each separate similarity with evidence from both texts. That's really important because, you know, summaries don't always have to have quotations, but in this particular case, the exam board is being very clear that it does want you to evidence, so make sure that you're including quotes. So you're only looking at similarities. This is really important. You're looking at content, not style. You're not going to do any analysis for this either. It is simply spot the similarities and then give the examples, okay? And make sure that you're getting examples from both texts to evidence your points, okay? So, do's and don'ts. This is the kind of thing that I see people doing which gets them 0 marks. So both writers use dynamic verbs to present excitement. Both use metaphors to describe the actions. Now that may be the case. Both texts might do that. They might both use metaphors. They might both use dynamic verbs. But those are not similarities about what happens in the game. Yeah, it's got to be content based. This is what it should look like. And this would literally get you 6 marks. Okay. Both games begin with a whistle. In text 1, a whistle blew, and in text 2, Mr. Sugden sucked his whistle. In addition, there are players in both games who aren't motivated, as in text 1, there was no fight or flight in their eyes, and in text 2, Billy is told to make an effort, lad. Finally, both games involve goals being scored. In text 1, the ball went somehow in over our keeper, and in text 2, the ball rolled slowly into the net. 6 marks, okay? Notice, absolutely no analysis. No explanation really, because it's all done in the point. Quotations from both, and I've got 3. It's really important that your opening statements for your quotes, like these ones, are specific. If you just went, both games include a whistle blowing and Mr. Sugden sucked his whistle, you're not going to get the full marks. They want you to actually make a specific, precise point about the similarity and then nip in your quotations. So make sure you've got 3, no reference to metaphors, rhetorical questions, anything like that. Just simply, what's the similarity? Here are the 2 quotes. Lather, rinse, repeat 3 times. Easy way to get 6 marks, right? On to the slightly harder one. So this is comparison, right? So we're looking at AO3. So our question here, compare the writer's ideas and perspectives about being part of a team. So always compare. Now compare is similarities and differences, okay? There's no rule. It's not like you have to do 2 of similarities and 2 of differences. It's just whatever's relevant and what you see. Ideas and perspectives. So that means that you're looking at the way that writers or characters feel, the way that they think, what their attitudes are, what their values are. You know, you might be like, both feel a sense of passion or both present a sense of passion. It's not, you're not going device-led. So just like with the other one, you're not going to be like, both use metaphors in order to do blah, 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 blah. It's got to be about ideas and perspectives. And then you're going to be given a topic, being part of a team. So obviously we're looking at main ideas and points of view. That's what I've just said about ideas and perspectives. But the other thing to be aware of is that it does say presentation of these ideas and views. So even though this is AO3 in comparison, you are going to be expected to analyse, right? And we're going to use examples from both texts to support your comparison. So again, you need to have a balance between those two texts. So here's our mark scheme. It's out of 16. And what I was just saying about analysis, you can see here on the second bullet point. So it says in middle band, so the kind of passing band, explanation of writers' ideas and perspectives, including theme, language and/or structure. Now that's important that it says theme, language and/or structure, because it's demonstrating that it's not like the earlier question where there's a cap, where if you don't, do a balance of both, you're gonna get penalised. But it does demonstrate that you are going to need to analyse in some way. And again, if you look, it goes from explanation to exploration to analysis. Okay, so analysis is in that top band. And then if you look at comparisons, we're going, so just that kind of passing area, you still need a range, right? It goes to wide range, varied and comprehensive range. So they are asking quite a lot, which means that in order to get in lots of comparisons, any kind of explanation and analysis can be quite brief, okay? It's not like with the earlier question, with like the language where I was saying squeeze everything you can out of your quotes. You are going to want to get through. And notice again, in terms of references, both texts is appropriate, relevant, and then you go, references are balanced across both texts. So that again demonstrates that you need to be getting both in, and top band, it's the discriminating and clarify the points being made, i.e. they are the best quotations that you could possibly use in order to evidence your point. So in order to hit this, what I would be suggesting to you is that you use a version of the PEA paragraph, but you simply, eating my own hair, you simply make it comparative. So start with a comparative topic sentence, okay? So both players in the text demonstrate real passion for the game. And then you're looking at the narrator of the autobiography and then maybe Mr. Sugden, as examples of passion about being in these teams. So always start with a comparative topic sentence, then put in some evidence from text 1, do your brief analysis, then make a link. So that means that you are again reiterating the comparison. So if it's a similarity, you can say similarly or likewise. And if it is a difference, you can use in contrast, on the other hand, unlike in text A. Once you've popped in your connecting sentence, you're then going to pop in some evidence, again, a quote, and you're going to analyse that, and then you're going to do that as many times as you physically can. Now, I'm going to show you a model now. I'm not going to go through the entire text just for the sake of making this video a little bit speedier. So I'm going to show you a model so you can see what it looks like, and then you can go into the text yourselves and have a bit of a practice. If you want to see a video where I am actually like really going through the text to show you how I would find the comparisons, I am planning on doing like a walk and talk through a paper, but like under a camera. So it will just be me writing. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It will probably come out next week. But for now, let's look at this model paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to read it all through for you, and then I'll just very quickly go through that paragraph structure. So, both texts explore the value of working together as a team. In text 1, the writer recalls how we were 1 point away from winning the league and I hoped that we would lift the trophy. The use of first-person plural pronouns here demonstrates their unity, that it's not just a win for the individual, but the whole team. The image of lifting the trophy together demonstrates the reward for their teamwork and hard work. Similarly, in text 2, the writer describes how both teams were playing as units, with the ball working as a magnet. Here, the noun unit emphasises their togetherness, all working together. Also, the metaphor of the magnet reminds us that everyone in the team has a sole purpose, being drawn to the football for the inevitable scoring goal. Okay, so everything is linked there to the idea of working as a team. It's clearly balanced, the two of them. So there's my comparative topic sentence. You can see both texts explore. Okay, so I'm pointing out a similarity. And then I get straight into my evidence here. And in this case, I've used quotations because I want to kind of link these two ideas together. I've then got in a little bit of analysis and some terminology, can't hurt, talking about the use of the pronouns and then the idea of the lifting the trophy, demonstrating reward. So again, main ideas, perspectives. Then I have my comparative link here, similarly in text 2, before I go on to include a bit of evidence from the second one, and then finally some analysis. And then I would do that again and again, and as many times as I physically possibly could. So that's it from me. Hopefully that was helpful. I will just do a quick little run through on the final section of the imaginative writing, but there are a lot of resources out there for you already. I believe I've already put some in the playlist for you, ones that I did originally for the other Edexcel. So all of that is relevant to you, but just don't be surprised if it says paper 1 section B, because it's on a different side for the other one, but the same skills apply. So do go and have a little look at those. Let me know if you've got any questions. Otherwise, I will be back again soon with a full walk and talk. Thanks so much and happy revising.